As an instructional coach, establishing rapport is one of your most critical tasks. By respecting teachers and valuing their opinions, you'll be on your way to a successful coaching relationship.
Hi, Kate. I'm looking forward to beginning this coaching cycle. What area do you want to focus on?
Well, I've been working a lot on math this year, and I feel like I want to focus on the conceptual thinking in math. I have a lot of students who are following a process, like when we're adding fractions, I teach them the steps to do it, but I don't think that they really understand how or why the process works.
Here, the coach allowed the teacher to determine the goal of the coaching cycle. This demonstrates that she's there to help the individual teacher improve based on her own personal needs.
There's been such a shift in math thinking over the last few years. You've obviously given it some really careful consideration.
Thank you.
What's your current math unit, and where are you noticing a need for improved conceptual understanding?
So we just started a unit on fractions, and it, again, seems like kids can follow that process, but they can't explain why it works or even why they're doing it or elaborating on their thinking behind the steps of it. So I think that tells me that they don't really understand it conceptually. What do you think?
That sounds exactly right. I totally agree with that. As the rigor has changed, I feel like that required thinking has really changed for kids too. What strategies have you tried?
Honestly, mostly I've just been teaching the processes because that's what we've always done. And I can see that even my proficient mathematicians don't always understand it well. So we've done a lot of everybody writes strategy where they write about what they're doing, as well as partner work and small group instruction and discussion. But I still feel like in that everybody writes and in those discussions, I'm not quite getting that rigor and that level of thinking that I'd like to see.
Have you tried guided discourse? I've seen it work really, really well when you use it as that idea of my favorite mistake. If we can find a mistake that's kind of a trend across your room, then maybe we can work together to analyze it, and then the kids can work together to analyze the same thing. They can practice sharing their thinking verbally, and maybe that'll get them thinking.
Yeah, I've used it for writing a lot this year and other contents, but I haven't ever used it in math before. I guess if they can practice looking at other people's mistakes, it might help them think about their own understanding of it. I'd totally be willing to try it if you help me.
Great. Let's look at your student work, and maybe we can identify some trends or mistakes. Then I'll pull some resources and bring them to you. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Great.
This pre-observation meeting has contributed to the coach's ability to build rapport. By beginning with a real discussion and then establishing a willingness to help with the work from a peer or partner role, the teacher was put at ease and recognized that the coach is there to help as a think partner and not an evaluator. This strengthens the coach-teacher relationship and allows both teacher and coach to benefit and learn. The next day, a post-observation conference should take place. By beginning with compliments and purposefully scheduling this feedback session to be timely, in this case the same day as the observation, the coach makes the feedback meaningful for the teacher. Furthermore, she allows the teacher to start reflecting on her practice so that the coach can facilitate the conversation to lead to a logical and powerful next step for the teacher.
Hey, Kate.
Hey, good to see you again.
Yeah, thank you so much for being willing to meet with me right away. Again, I know you have a lot to do during your plan period, so let's keep this short and sweet.
Yeah, no problem. I'd much rather do this now because it's fresh in my brain. So let's do it.
Let me start by saying I always love coming to your room.
Thank you.
Your directions are always so clear and concise. Your students just know what the expectation is, and every student is able to focus on learning because your management is so strong.
Well, thank you.
It was obvious they clearly understood what you needed them to do, and they felt safe to take risks, so your hard work really shows.
Thanks. I think the lesson went pretty well. I appreciated that they were taking risks, like you said, and they were trying to explain their thinking about the guided discourse.
Yeah, they were. There are clearly so many students in your classroom that like to participate.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any concerns about the students who weren't participating compared to the ones who were?
By asking guiding questions, the coach can lead the teacher to recognize the issue that will become her next instructional step. Additionally, having resources and ideas ready at the debrief meeting allows the teacher to leave the meeting with something immediately helpful towards her goal.
teach for your class if you want to. And we can go together to watch Mrs. Anderson. She is a master at using habits of discussion.
So I've heard of habits of discussion, but I missed the training last year, so I've not really been implementing it. I'd like to learn more about it. I'll take this resource, and I'd love your help, but I think it would really help if I could see it in action. So if we could go see it with Mrs. Anderson first, I think that would be helpful.
That sounds great. Let me email her and kind of see what she has going on in her room, when would be a good time for her to host us. Then I'll be in touch as soon as I figure that out. Thanks again for letting me come in today and watch you teach. Like I said, I always enjoy that so much. You're such an amazing manager, an amazing teacher. The kids are so lucky to have you.
Thanks for helping me.
Trust, choice, autonomy, peer partnership between coach and teacher. These ideas breed a successful relationship between instructional coaches and teachers. Timely, respectful feedback that includes choice allows teachers to appreciate coaching feedback without feeling judged or evaluated by their peer coach.